Welcome to the Cielo Spiritual Foundation podcast, your guide to healing, balance, and renewal. Join your host, Michelle Garcia, as she connects with leading experts to share powerful insights on mind, body, and recovery strategies. Tune in, transform, and discover new ways to live a better life. It all starts now.
So today I'm happy to welcome Michelle Garcia.
My friend Michelle Garcia is back here on the program to tell us a bit about an upcoming Cielo Spiritual Foundation.
So, hello and welcome to another episode of Inspiring Interviews, where we dive deep into the emotional, spiritual, and well-being of people's lives, bringing in guests on our show that will help you learn and grow. So, today I have a very brilliant and very educated doctor. He is a board-certified chiropractor, over 19 years of experience. He also has studied Chinese medicine, which helps him integrate ancient medicine with the new and cutting-edge modalities that are made available through laser healing and some other awesome techniques and natural remedies that he's going to share with you, and that he has shared with me, and I have found groundbreakingly effective with not only my community in my sober home, but also for myself personally. I've known Anthony for years. We worked together at a outpatient treatment center I ran, and I got to watch him inspire and ignite the imagination and the interest of holistic medicine to the clients in the treatment industry. Really something I have grown to love more and more as I also move through my life, learning and growing and helping people. As a humanitarian, an incredible soul, I welcome you, Dr. Anthony. How do we say your name again?
Usera.
Usera, yes, the last name. We all love to call him Dr. Anthony because he's just fun. Like that casual, comfortable, healing man that like is right downstairs and just makes things happen for so many. But I would like to start. Would you be open to starting with a meditation?
Certainly.
All right, awesome. So much is about our breath and bringing in oxygen. So let's take a deep breath in. Bringing in oxygen, life force, energy, love. Holding it maybe for 3 counts. And just dropping down into a neutral observer. And just allowing yourself to let go, let God. Get grounded and centered and are loving. Invoke your inner counselor. Know that all your answers come from within. And I would like to take this moment to send out prayer to everyone whose lives have been touched deeply and have lost a lot and experienced a lot of grief with the fires in Los Angeles. So just sending love, light, protection to all of that. Okay, beautiful. All right. Well, I am so happy you came out. Thank you for making time to come out today. I know you're a busy man. You see so many people. You help so many people in the course of a day. And you always make time. Every time I walk through the door with a client or myself, so thank you. So let's talk about first, like, what started you in this journey? Like, what inspired you to become a chiropractor in the first place?
Well, growing up, I never thought I would be a chiropractor. I always thought I would be perhaps a medical doctor or something more traditional. But what I found when I was doing my early training was that you really didn't have the autonomy that you thought you would have. And instead, there were all these protocols and preset ways that things should work. And there wasn't much space for creativity. So I was working as a personal trainer at the gym and at the same time going to Chinese medicine school. Nice. And one of the other trainers was working for a famous chiropractor, and that's how I first got introduced to chiropractic as a whole.
Nice. Okay. Wow. And so then you went to school and started studying, and then you opened up your own private practice. Could you tell us about that? What inspired you to do that?
Well, while I was in school, I worked for that famous chiropractor as well. And I got to see all these different things, a whole new world of alternative things that they call alternative approaches. But in actuality, many of them were actually just old things that had been kind of forgotten or obfuscated, covered up by the establishment.
Okay, right. So like that blue methane medicine, natural medicine you gave me that like gave me this awesome energy when I walked out the door and I had to share with everybody.
Yes.
So could you tell the audience, like people about that?
Yeah, that's kind of a hot topic lately.
I know, right?
The methylene blue, my brand is called Mitobolic Blue, but that is something that was first synthesized by mankind in 1876.
Wow, yeah.
And they were actually using it to study different diseases, malaria in this case, and they realized accidentally that it killed it. And then that was the beginning of that whole journey.
Radical. That is so cool. And it gives such energy to you, and it cleans mold, and you can use it to clean your household product things and disinfect, right?
Yeah. Back then, we didn't understand or know about mitochondria. So mitochondria are the energy producing part of your cells. And what happens is in 98% of all disease processes currently known to mankind, there's a mitochondrial component. So in order to be sick, you first need damaged mitochondria, and then this helps that.
Nice. Well, actually, there's that chloride that you gave me. That's actually the one that disinfects, cleans mold, and just like you could take it and your stomach flu goes away, as mine did. Thank you very much. I'm so thankful because I did not want to be a week out with all these people to help. And it's just like instant.
Yep. Now what I say is you don't really need to get sick anymore. As soon as you know something's a little off, you could start with this. Right. But this is something else from 1814. And I'm actually a little hesitant to say the name on camera, only because it could cause your video to become censored.
Oh, I know. Bummer. We'll just have to, people just need to come see you in Palm Desert. And I want to share that he has written this amazing book, of which I am super excited to read, by the way. It's called Ancient Secrets, Future Remedies, which is very indicative of the way your style is. You know, you're integrating, you know, ancient philosophies and practices and rituals and medicines that are natural to the body or that really help us live a full life, but also, you know, bringing what new things we're learning in the world, like, oh, wow, let's talk about that. First of all, about this book, what's your favorite aspect of this book?
Well, I was writing this book, and my editor at the time was secretly dealing with her own health condition. Oh, wow. So she was pushing me to hurry up and finish. I've been writing for 13 years up to the point of writing that book. This book came out in 2016. So you can tell by the cover, my black hair, how long ago it was. But, you know, in the book, my favorite part was in the very end of it, where I was going to talk about different things you could do for yourself. Okay. And one of them is to drink better water. So I was doing research into water, trying to debunk the alkalinity thing and all that. And I came across molecular hydrogen. Okay. So the molecular hydrogen is the most important part of the water, the H2 part of the H2O. And then that led me into a whole rabbit hole worth of information into molecular biology and how that impacts your biochemistry. Like the way that your body actually works and processes energy, oxygen, is tied down to how hydrogen moves. And in chemistry, we assume hydrogen is just always there to complete the reaction. Yeah. But in actuality, especially living in the desert, I found that people are not actually dehydrated. It's not that they don't have enough water, it's that they don't have enough hydrogen.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. So this is great. People are learning, we're learning more here. And I want to just touch on the CBD ointment you made, that slab. Amazing. Okay. My back was hurting a little bit last night, and I put a little bit on. I woke up this morning, boom, gone. So thank you for that. Like, I see you making so many things in the back of your little place there, like little potions, like the mad scientist. Like, share with me, like, what inspired you to make all these and do all this?
Wow. Do we have like 3 hours here? This is going to be like a Joe Rogan 4-hour podcast, because everything makes sense when you really look at it. My father is an engineer and my mom's a nurse. So with all the things that I do, I didn't just, decide to do it. It was logic. There's a physio logic. There's a body logic. And if we could understand a little more about that, then we can just give your body the little thing that it needs.
Nice.
So when I went to Chinese medicine school back in like the 90s, I learned how to make all these different products. There's a liniment, there's these salves and things. And so I took that knowledge into CBD. And when I came to California, I was like, oh, everything's legal. So I tried to make the best CBD oil, the best cannabis based healing ointment possible. But then due to the regulations, you can't sell it. I don't have all the papers that you need in order to register it. So I stopped making it and switched over to just pure CBD. But anyway, that's just one of the first obstacles of the authoritarian establishment preventing people from just doing what they can do for themselves.
Love it. All right. So this beaker. Okay, this is fun. A little demonstration. You want to share with us how this works?
Yeah, sure. So this is a famous blue bottle experiment. What I have in here is I pre-mixed some glucose and some potassium hydroxide. Anyway, the purpose of the glucose is to represent the sugar that would be in your bloodstream. And then the potassium hydroxide is there to provide oxygen. So the bottle has an extra amount of oxygen than it normally would have in it. But because there's so much oxygen inside the liquid, more of it is up here in this part. So when I agitate it, the methylene blue, metabolic blue from here, is able to touch the oxygen up there and it becomes blue. The reason this turns blue or clear is the same reason why the sky is blue but also clear. So between me and you, it's clear, but looking into the depth of the sky, it's blue because there's oxygen in the air. There's water vapor in the air. And then
so this is bringing oxygen to the water. We're 70% water to our body, which is mostly water, so that we can regenerate cells and brain function and really everything, right?
Everything that runs in your body, that's part of your natural, normal, healthy function, runs on oxygen.
Yeah, so vital. That's like what I bring in meditation, and breath work, and
yes.
But if we can enhance it with the supplements that you've got, my gosh, this radical healing can happen for people, especially people with crisis situations or ailments within them that they want to overcome.
Yes, but the premise of the whole thing is that there's some sort of innate intelligence, a spiritual life force energy that coordinates all of this.
Okay.
So we don't need to consciously know and direct anything through the mind, but just allow the physiology to work the way it's designed to.
Right. Wow. Love it.
So here now the oxygen is coming out and it'll start to turn clear. I'll just hold it up until it does that.
I know, right? Like it's radical. So what about we can't talk about that one.
We can. We just can't say the name of it. I don't want you to get censored.
That yellow one that we took to cure my stomach flu, and you were talking about putting vitamin C cancels it out. So kind of really being educated with someone like you becomes really important when we take in these natural, medicines, right? So how does that work?
Well, just to talk about the vitamin C part, it just shows how easy it is. See, really the substances are very highly unstable, which is good. Because you don't want it to last on the shelf forever. You want to make it fresh in your home when you need it. And then as soon as it's done its job, for it to neutralize itself so that it doesn't build up toxicity or dependency or anything like that.
Nice. Oh, I love that you say that, because we don't want to become dependent on anything, do we?
Exactly.
The body is such an amazing mechanism. And that is brilliantly executed and shown in the way that you do chiropractic work itself with integrating the laser. How did that come into fruition? Like, how did you start? I loved it. I mean, I think it's the coolest thing ever. Like, have a laser. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, my eye's a little bit sty. He's going to put a little laser on my eye, fix that. It's like crazy. So crazy amazing. Talk about, please.
Crazy amazing. It is. Actually, laser is the reason why I became a chiropractor.
Really?
Yeah. Because that famous chiropractor I was working for had the first FDA-approved laser. So that's another ancient remedy. In 1917.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought this was new. It's like,
Right. In 1917, Albert Einstein gave us the physics for laser. Then in the 50s, we finally built the machine. Then in the 60s, it became illegal in the United States.
Is that right?
Of course, because it was too good. And then it went underground to Ukraine, Russia, somewhere like that. And then it went to Italy in the 70s, and it came back to the United States in 1998.
Thank God.
Yes, FDA approved for LASIK eye surgery.
Thank God. Oh, right. I do remember. Yeah, my aunt had that done.
Then in 2003, when I started chiropractic school, it was FDA approved for how we use it. But anyway, that's just the history. What it does is the laser generates photon light energy particles in a certain frequency and wavelength that trigger these little chemical or light pores inside the mitochondria. So really learning about how the laser works and the laser physics is how I was able to be prepared to learn about molecular hydrogen, and then the dioxide, yellow one that we're talking about. That's still too controversial to mention. And then now the methylene blue.
Although Mel Gibson did just mention about it, right?
You can say methylene blue. It's the other one that we still can't talk about yet, because that has been highly controversial. They've called it a dangerous bleach, even though it's nothing to do with bleach. It just smells kind of like bleach.
Yeah, well, I mean, I ingested it right into me and it made me feel better, not worse, I can imagine.
Just like anything else, the dose matters. And that's where having a little guidance could help, or just proceeding with caution.
And people can find you in Palm Desert, in your office that you've been there forever, years. I was so happy to find you again more recently when I went to the vitamin place. I'm like, oh my gosh, Anthony, that's right.
Yes.
You know.
But you don't have to just come to me in person. Like I now am helping more people through online. I've had a few really good results.
Well, thank God, because all these fires in people's lives have been, you know, just devastated, right? And grief can cause who knows what on the body, adverse effects, you know. And I know like you're so good with being intuitive and giving people natural ways to, you know, you could probably send them things, right?
Certainly. So I probably do more through the mail than I do even at the office, because there's just so many people out there who could use the help.
I know. It's just this little itty bitty cute office in the corner right off of Highway 111 there. And what's the corner there?
Larkspur.
So for the locals, there you go. He says, I mean, I walk in and it's like there's usually just somebody there, or he just takes you right on the spot. And I think you had like this time, correct me if I'm wrong, where like people could come in. It was only like happy hour for chiropractor.
I like that.
And like they could come and get some chiropractor for you.
I should change it. I'm going to call it happy hour.
You are? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Yep.
That's what it felt like. I was like, oh my gosh, I get a free little adjustment. But then, you know, I end up learning more about something else. And
you know what it is someone with my level of education, my time could get to be kind of expensive if we take a lot of it. Yeah. So I wanted to offer something more affordable to the community, where we have the chiropractic walk-in open happy hour where you can just come and get a quick adjustment. Because you know what I found is when I'm home, when I'm with the family, when I go to Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving, the whole family just lines up and we all get adjusted. And in 5 minutes, we could do 8 people. You know, it doesn't need to take long.
No, you're good. You're really like, even I brought someone with special needs and you right away keyed into like his needs and his limitations. And I was really, I didn't tell you how very impressed I was, because I was with my client, but like I was very impressed with that, you know. And I think that just comes from years of, you know, working with people. And some people just have that gift of feeling into that.
Yeah. My whole idea is that it's not so much there's visual, there's audio, but there's also kinesthetic. So you can tell me things, you could show me something, but I could also feel it. So I read your body.
Chiropractor,
I guess like, it comes in handy.
Where is what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
But that really comes from my Chinese medicine training. I give it the most credit for that.
Nice.
Because 5,000 years ago, they didn't have X-rays or MRIs or blood work.
It's crazy. I would go in. I've had Chinese medicine and show them my hand, show them my tongue, and they could tell me what herbs I should take to get to the core of what's going on, not a Band-Aid, but the core. And it was just so impressive to me. I mean, I have utmost respect for Chinese medicine. It's like ancient, amazing, sacred.
Yes.
Awesomeness.
However, it's not our culture.
Right.
And the authenticity is sometimes questioned. if you're not native speaking of that language.
Interesting.
Which it would help if I knew Chinese. It would help if I knew Japanese or Korean, because then I could get deeper into the ancient knowledge. But we have a lot of the same information that has been uncovered in our culture. So we use the chiropractic as the bridge instead of talking too much about the other things from different cultures.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think like it's just nice to integrate it the way it's, receivable to this culture.
Yeah.
Right? It's like how practical can it be in this day and age, right?
Well,
And so-
humans are still the same as they were basically some thousands of years ago. Like we haven't changed that much. So, science and the advancements of science will continue to unfold more secrets, but the ancient path already could bring you there. You just might not have the same type of understanding.
Yeah. So one of the things that I want to express about your character is your enthusiasm for your work. I love it's contagious. It literally is. And like, I would just love to see you do educationals. But I think more recently, I actually caught you on Instagram informing people about things and new ways to heal their bodies. So can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm trying to get more comfortable with being in front of the camera because I was previously limiting myself through a belief that I had to be there in person in order to really help. But now that we've had more and more success stories, I have a few people I've never met. I've never even talked to on the phone. I've only texted, and we've seen some really good results.
Oh, that's nice.
So I'm going to start reaching out more through technology.
Instagram and I don't know, Twitter. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. It helps a little because it's global. So, but yeah, I'm big on hands-on too. I mean, it's just nothing quite like it, of course, but energetically we can feel into things through ways new. So what can you share about your future ideas about what you'd like to see for humanity, your work, how it will unfold? Any ideas you want to share?
My big idea coming up is to make an edit to the Ancient Secrets Future Remedies and give more information so people can empower themselves.
Nice.
Because again, just like the ancients before us, the giants whose shoulders we stand upon today, one day I won't be there either. And we want the information to stop being lost and having to be regenerated again over and over.
I appreciate that.
But what I talk about are things that I want them to be universal truths, like things that will be self-evident regardless of what the establishment tries to throw. Like right now, especially after the Mel Gibson mentioning of methylene blue just the other day, now I'm already starting to see more negative information about the ancient remedies, just as a way of throwing a little roadblock so that some people will be scared. And then they'll go to the medical doctor who has no training or education on it, and then they'll be stifled and stopped from getting the help they could.
Yeah, no, I know. That's kind of been you really do have to consider your source when you ask a question. I mean, that's a given. If you're going to ask about holistic remedies, you may not get a doctor of Western medicine that's savvy about that, like knows really what's what about that per se. And it would be cool if a doctor would say, my knowledge is limited in that area and just leave it at that, instead of deterring someone from something that could also enhance their practice as well with them, right? So share with us about your potions.
Well, all right. So here we're talking about the chlorine mixture that is so controversial that we can't mention.
It's a magic potion.
Yes. It has been called the universal antidote. Actually, NASA called it that in 1983. And that's interesting, right? Because they needed something to sanitize and keep things clean up in the space station. And they're trying to figure out what they could do. And they didn't want to transport a bunch of stuff, so they just needed some basic materials that you could mix together. And when you mix it together, it gives off this gas that can be captured into liquid, and then you can drink it.
Oh.
And you can dilute it, It's been shown to kill any bacteria, virus, fungus, or mold known to mankind, over 210 different species of bacteria, virus, fungus, mold, and all of the diseases that they could cause. See, because what it is, pathogenic or disease-causing microorganisms usually are anaerobic, which means they don't like oxygen.
Right.
So here we have a stabilized oxygen that we can release the oxygen from it with this acid activator through the mixing of the two.
Nice.
So all you need to do is have this little thing on the shelf, and you could make potentially, well, enough home remedy medicine for years.
Like
for
I
a whole
have
family.
a jar like this, but you said it's good to keep it fresh and new, right?
You can. I have developed methods for making it and then stabilizing it so that it could have a shelf life.
Oh, good.
But it would just be more economical and easier in some ways if you just make it yourself.
So let's see. Can you make us a
Sure.
little example of how this works?
So here we'll take just a couple drops. Here, I'll do a bunch. That way you can see it. So it's a clear liquid. It has no odor. If we were to taste it, it would taste salty. And then here we have another clear liquid. If it has no odor. If we were to taste it, it would taste kind of lemony. You could also just use lime juice or lemon juice. But on contact, when the substances come together, a reaction occurs. And it's a yellow.
Dark yellow.
Yeah, it's actually ochre. So in the old books that you read, they might mention a color ochre. And I'm like, what's ochre? Well, that's what ochre looks like. So
Like
it's
an
kind
amber, almost.
of amber, yeah, brownish.
But the one I have is more yellow, so it's pretty diluted.
What you have is what I call CDE, or chlorine extract. Yeah.
Dot. Okay.
Check later to find out.
Yes,
But
please.
yeah, this is darker because this is around 1/3 pure substance that we're
Okay.
talking about.
Oh, it's concentrated. Okay.
It's highly concentrated. What you have is about 3% strength. However, it's the pure, just the exact components. What's going on inside of here is some other things that they call residues are also being generated. So it's the residues that give it the unpleasantness. With the extract version that you have, that's a lighter color, with that one, all the things that are bad about it are not there. It only has the active ingredients.
And what I remember you taught me that if I add vitamin C, it cancels out its effectiveness. Why is that?
Yes. So vitamin C is a antioxidant. Here we have a pro-oxidant. That brings up a good topic. Because out there in the culture, as part of the way that the establishment wants to confuse people, they'll tell you antioxidant good, pro-oxidant bad. They'll say alkaline good, acid bad. Not true. Acid at certain times is good. Alkaline at certain
times. I get that.
Yes, and that's where the
I know
Chinese
there's
medicine.
a lot of extremity going on with anti-inflammatory.
Yes.
Take this, take that. I'm like, oh.
Yep. But in actuality, it's not that one is good or one is bad. It's how you use it and how they come together and what they do. So by the end of the time we're here together, this will stop being so dark brown.
Okay.
And that's because it's going to give off the
Perfumes.
into the room.
Is that cleaning the room?
Yes.
Oh, we like that. Like
So-
an onion.
Yep.
Sort of, right? They do that.
There is a study done in Japan and also replicated in Taiwan where they just put a little cup like this in a classroom, and then the students had less days missed. People got sick less often.
I
Yep.
love that. Oh, yay. Put
So-
it in the little kids because they get all sick all the time.
Right? People don't need to get sick anymore, ever again. Like as soon as you're not at 100%, you could start taking this, and usually within a few hours, you'll be back to your full self.
Key, become self-aware. Notice the signs. Tap into that. Address it right away.
Yes. However, if it's down the road and you waited a little too long, my first person, whoever gave this to, it was about 3:00 in the afternoon. I brought over something just similar to this to their house.
Already made, or
Already made, but from
Nice.
this mixture. It was
Sure.
this type. It wasn't the advanced version that we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
The extract version.
Okay.
It was just this basic version, and I brought it over around 3:00, and at 7:00 I texted to see how things are going, and
God.
80% improvement.
Love it. Yeah, I believe it because I experience it. So there's no better example than your self-learning and your self-awareness around it, and try and see if it works. But
Yeah, and I don't blame people if they can't believe it, but
I know
it's
I get
true.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information out there, influencing and, but yeah. So what are these bottles down here?
Well, here is just another example that kind of goes back to the blue bottle experiment.
Okay.
So in here, we have it able to turn from clear to blue through the agitation. But here I have it stabilized. So both of these bottles have the same amount of blue.
Oh.
But this one has
vitamin C.
Vitamin C. And because vitamin C is an antioxidant, we're not seeing that blue.
Interesting, but yet still good for us at the right times.
Yes.
Interesting.
The vitamin C will help the substance to go deeper into your system. And then once it gets to the area, the cells, the tissues.
So those two are good together.
It is good together.
And the other one, not so much.
You could have just this, or you could have this. Some people don't want the blue tongue, so vitamin C.
I did that to my handyman. He wasn't feeling so good. I said, "Here, try this." He's like, "You didn't tell me you're gonna make me like a Smurf with a blue tongue."
Yes.
I'm like, "Don't worry about it." He's like, "Am I gonna be okay?" And then he felt amazing the next morning, and he thanked me. And so, yeah. And then my other friend who had the stomach flu, I came and I brought that to him, and he was feeling better right away as well. So thankfully, this stomach flu is so bad out here. It's
yeah, but no
fun at all.
I don't believe in the disease. Oh, like the flu. Like maybe you needed a break. Maybe you needed to rest. So you allowed yourself to get sick.
That's so funny. My mom, well, she's like a yogi growing up and everything. And she's definitely a proponent of holistic. And she always used to say, when you're sick, she's like, your body's just telling you need rest, Michelle. And I'm like, oh, okay, So, but also honing in and seeing what you can, do to address it holistically can never not expedite the rate at which we heal our body, right?
Yes.
Because you can learn you're teaching people literally how to empower themselves and heal their own bodies.
The only thing that will ever heal you is something about you.
Nice.
Right? It's something inside of you that manifests from the inside. The flower comes up and then it opens. Mm-hmm. So there's an internal that comes out.
From the root up. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So we have to get to the root
right?
of it and nurture that aspect instead of the top up here.
Yes. Instead of addressing what's wrong, instead of fighting against dis-ease, promote ease, promote health.
Well, that's why maintenance for me and just doing things that help, So what do you recommend for people to live healthy lives, like on a daily basis? Like what maintenance supplements and activities from your studies and learns and teachings do you think would enhance a life?
I mean, without just being here to promote products, the thing to do is drink more water and be more conscious in your breathing. Breathe from the diaphragm. Don't just breathe from the chest. Don't breathe throat. Breathe diaphragm and then drink more water.
Well, I love that. And then also posture, right?
Posture, alignment. Your body is really resilient. It can adapt. It could compensate for all kinds of things. And your body is very automatic. And this is one of the reasons why breathing is so important. Because breathing is automatic, but then we also have some level of control over it.
Yes.
So we're able to interface with that part of the neurology that has the automatic component. That's the same part that runs your immune system, that runs your stress levels, that runs how everything works inside your body. By being attentive to the breathing, we can access that same control center that is responsible for all the other aspects of health.
Love it. Yeah. That's what I love about yoga. And when I come to visit you and you do adjustments, so you always have me breathe, take a breath in and then just relax into the adjustment and allow it to happen. So nice walking out of there feeling good.
Yep. Your body wants to be better. And it's easier to come in agreement with how you already want to be better.
Is there such a thing as being over flexible?
There is a hypermobility. That could lead to a instability in the joints. Okay. So being too flexible can be an issue, just like being too stiff could be an issue.
Right.
It's the yin and the yang, because we can't just say, oh, this one is good and this one therefore is bad.
Again, I know.
Yeah, being more flexible is good, but being stiff is bad. No, being stiff has its benefits, and then that's why your body makes you stiff.
Right.
Your body wants more stability.
Right. What about electrolytes?
Oh, excellent. Part of how the mitochondria work is this transfer of electrons. So electrolyte kind of alludes to electrons. So the electrolyte is able to help electrons move through your cells. When electrons move, that flow of electrons is called electricity. So your body has electricity inside, and electrolytes help facilitate the flow.
Nice. Beautiful. And what do you take as a supplement? Just actual electrolyte supplements?
That's another awesome question. I love to empower the people because it's not a product to buy from me. Just get healthy salt. Get some sea salt, Celtic salt, Himalayan salt, the Redmond's real salt.
Like right under the tongue, I've heard.
You can put it however you want. Add it to your food, mix it in water, drink that water as your morning water. Like take a teaspoon of healthy salt, not NaCl.
Yeah, no way.
But the good full salt with all
I'm constantly teaching people here that because they grab for the table salt and I'm like trying to exchange it for the Himalayan salt, you know, or even sea salt, and then it seems like I think like I grew up with like don't do the three whites: no white sugar, no white flour, no white salt. My mom taught me, and so I know it at base level, but like teaching people that and unlearning and then relearning.
Yes.
It's a whole process.
That's the biggest challenge.
But it's important. It's so important because there's such great alternatives and it makes you feel so good, like instantaneously, doesn't it?
And it's easy. And you could get a bucket full of salt and live off that for years.
Really? There's so much mineral in it, right?
Well, yeah, not as your sole source of nutrition.
No, you only need like a teaspoon, like a dab, right?
Yes, I'd say, roughly a teaspoon a day of the healthy salt. Yes.
Yeah, especially in the desert, right?
Definitely. Yeah. Not just here, everybody, but definitely here.
All right, cool. So about your family, how do they feel about your practice and what you're doing with your life? Are they inspired? Are they not?
They're inspired. It's really interesting because, it's like kind of a Clark Kent Superman thing where I'm home and I'm now Tony Usera, private citizen. But when I go to the office, then... Yeah, I should be here. But
we want to carry the legacy, and sometimes it's not our family that carry it. Sometimes it's just the people you meet and.
Well, speaking of legacy, I've sent a few students off, but one of the first chiropractors who I ever met was a female, and one of the interesting and awesome things about chiropractic is it's always been very welcoming. Not welcoming; it's not the right word, but it's we've included women as our heroes since the beginning.
Oh, nice.
So a woman chiropractor was the first person who ever adjusted me, and she was smaller than me, and I was a personal trainer at the time, so I was even bigger and stronger then. And it showed me that it's kind of like karate or martial arts, where your small stature and size doesn't make you any less effective. It's all about your technique.
Wow, that's cool to know.
Yeah, so I have 2 daughters, so I really think, I've actually taught them both how to adjust.
Nice.
Which is interesting because back in the old days, the knowledge of chiropractic, before they called it chiropractic, it used to be called bone setting, or, there's different traditional names, but it was passed down through the family. So every family had a Uncle Tony who knew how to adjust, and if somebody had pain, they would go see Uncle Tony and get adjusted and get back to work. Because in society, we didn't have time for people to be down. We needed
That's how I feel like you are when I go in your office. You're just like, I see these people just random walk in, boom, just go on, and they move on, that happy hour.
Yes.
And so your kids, they want to pursue career in and around it at all, you think?
I don't know. My one younger daughter is very talented in anything she tries, which is kind of how I am. So she could do it, but she could do anything too. And my older daughter, she could adjust me younger, but now she's a little hesitant and scared. So what's happened is she learned about things that have been said in society, and now
It could go wrong.
Yeah, she's worried about that. So she'll let her little sister adjust me instead. Because who adjusts me, right? I have any chiropractor can come visit me, and I'll adjust you if you adjust me. But if I'm home, it's the weekend, then my younger daughter could adjust me.
Nice. Yeah. It's really nice to walk out feeling light and balanced and no pain. It's a gift.
Pain is a signal from that aspect of your body. So in our way, with the spiritual, approach, we're saying for sure that you are not your body, that you are some spiritual life force energy that lives inside your body, the vessel that manifests your spiritual energy.
Beautiful.
So, with the adjusting, we're just opening up those channels to the energy that's already inside you. The same power that created your body heals your body.
I love that. It's like poetry to me. And it's like not said enough. I feel like because there's unfortunately, a lot of things commercialized and a lot of selling products and things that get lost. That philosophy is getting lost. So thank you for bringing that back, to the viewers, to the people, so that they can, share with others and really learn more about themselves and how to heal your own self, and get empowered and feel good and live your best life, right?
Yep.
And that's really what it's about.
Everything it takes to heal is already inside you.
Right. Yeah. I'm just learning more about. I'm so thankful that you are a guide for that and helping people get in touch with that. And because we need that, especially in this day and age. And thank God, like these new remedies and laser came back in a way we can utilize and integrate, because that like how do you, so when you're doing the chiropractic session, you find a place where maybe they're having more trouble and you add the laser light. I'd say like it's like a hammer sometimes. Like there's this thing you do, it's like a hammer, right?
Oh, yeah. That's another tool. That's called a arthrostim, and it's like a little jackhammer.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, what I do is when I'm feeling your body, there's a area of tension or an area where the tone isn't the same.
Okay.
And we can use the laser to signal your body to increase circulation, reduce inflammation, reduce pain signals directly at the neurological level. And our favorite part about the laser, promote the actual healing and regeneration by getting the mitochondria more energetic so that they can wake up and do their healing functions.
Nice. Yay. So you're so educated on specifically just exactly how that works to hone in and do its handiwork, which is so awesome. And then I leave you feeling amazing.
Right.
So,
your body is really smart and it attracts the healing energy to the part. But with the laser, since it's a laser, we can just direct it right to the point, right where it needs it, and put that energy right there. And then the cells grab the energy, and it causes a cascading healing effect where those cells that are now healthy can spread the health to the other cells.
I love that. It's like the best kind of contagious.
Yes.
We want more of that in the world. Thank you so much. I just like a wealth of health and wellness, and like this abundance, I hope reaches more people today. I mean, I know you're so busy. I'm so thankful that you took time to come and share on my show. If you know anyone that wants to learn more about how to feel good and is open to holistic remedies, definitely check out Anthony. And can you share a little bit about where and how they can reach you?
You could find me at www.mitobolicblue.com, also powerofchiropractic.com.
Yay.
They're both a mouthful for how to spell, but I'm sure we'll put it on the screen.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you again. Yeah, you're a gift to humanity, truly. So thank you for joining us at Inspiring Interviews, where we take a look and dive deep into the journey of people's lives, how they got there, and what they're doing with their practices. And I honestly would love if you could just take a minute to subscribe and like and share with a friend, because then we could reach more people. So thank you again. Have an amazing, blessed rest of your day. Namaste.